Hi, my name is Jennifer Radtke. I am the Executive Director at the Greenville Area Chamber of Commerce. And if you'd like to learn a little bit more about that and a little bit about what I do, stick around.
Welcome to the Discover Montcalm podcast, where we are going to look at the communities, the businesses, the attractions, and the people that make up Montcalm County. Here is your podcast host, Dwayne Weed.
Hello, my name is Dwayne. I'm the host and producer of the Discover Montcalm podcast, and I want to welcome you to the show. As you heard, Jennifer Radtke is here from the Greenville Area Chamber of Commerce. But before we get to her story, you can find us on Pandora, iHeart, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Apple. I kind of forget some of those once in a while. But Jennifer, thank you for coming in and joining us here.
Anytime.
You joined the Chamber of Commerce in what month?
June, at the beginning of this month, actually.
Okay. June of 2025.
Yes.
So, you know, you've walked in and you've got it all nailed. Everything's working out well, and it's just...
Oh, yeah, 100%. I am ready.
All right. Before we get to that, let's go back and learn a little bit about you. I know we were talking before we started rolling here. Where did you grow up? And tell us a little bit about the younger Jennifer.
Oh my. I am from the central Michigan area. I am from Shepherd, Michigan. Know where that is? Anybody?
Yep.
Famous for their, maple syrup festivals every year.
That's big.
I grew up right in town. I'm a townie from there. I am related to probably all of Shepherd. That's a joke my husband likes to tell over and over. I have a very common last name. Well, did have a very common last name when I lived there. So
Okay.
I could never go down the road without anybody telling my mother what was going on.
Okay.
So,
Well, I remember growing up, I grew up in the big metropolis of Morley. And if something happened on the east side, my mom knew about it before I got home.
well, isn't that like where your mom could yell from the other side to tell you to get home because she heard already?
Yeah, so it was kind of that way. I remember one time I wasn't being the best person. And by the time I got home, my mom was like, "So what happened?" I then had to go apologize. And,
Yeah.
All these were teachable moments, very teachable moments. So come from Shepherd.
Mm-hmm.
And when you were getting ready to spread your wings and go out, right out of high school, where did you go?
Right out of high school, I started planning my wedding. I married my high school sweetheart in 1998, which, if I'm dating myself a little bit, was pretty much 1 year after I graduated from high school.
Okay. Now, did you head off to college? Did you go right out into the world of work? I mean, I know planning a wedding takes a lot of time, but in there, what was your direction as far as a career at that time?
Well, I was planning originally to go into the arts. I thought I wanted to be an interior designer.
Okay.
Lots of schooling there. I ended up, because I knew I was going to marry a musician, I ended up going into business school. So
Okay.
I changed my major to marketing. I love marketing because I like being around people.
Sure.
I found,
And there's always a problem solution there in
Yes.
marketing.
Yes. And that's where I learned I always have a plan A, B, and C, sometimes a D.
Okay. There's nothing wrong with that. So what was your first job?
My first job was as a waitress at the world famous Stan's restaurant in downtown Mount Pleasant, Michigan. Little plug there.
Still there?
It's still there.
All right. Perfect. Then you got marketing. You're in that. Was your first job marketing?
No, I went to school and quit for a while because I had my first child. So obviously I had to take a little time off. I bounced around from job to job. I just learned more, got more experience from different jobs. I worked as a waitress, and then I worked in an office type of setting. I went to Staples.
Okay.
I worked at Staples, where I learned a ton of customer service
I was
skills.
going to say that
Oh,
was customer
my.
service up
Yeah.
front. I remember a young man from Greenville that used to work for me. He went to Best Buy in their Geek Squad right out of high school, and that was the best thing that could happen to him because he knew his stuff, but customer service was something that you just got to do.
Yep. Yep. And they have a whole program where they're training you and they like drill into you all of these, processes that you're supposed to do. And you have to pass tests to make it to the next thing, the next step. And I worked my way up and I became a department lead. It would have been a manager type of position. I think my timelines are a little off because that was the job that I had before I had my first child. And then, so you're hearing that correctly. I did go to school and I did work full time and I was pregnant at the same time. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. We got that. So what brought you into the Montcalm area? Was it a job from your husband or was it a job for you? How did you come into Montcalm County?
All right. Yeah. After working we lived and worked in Breckenridge. Mm-hmm. We both worked at Breckenridge Community Schools. I was the athletic secretary and also the high school administrator. There was the lead high school administrator and then there was me. I was kind of assisting her and I was the athletic secretary.
Okay.
And my husband was the band director. He taught 6th through 12th grade band. Mm-hmm. And then when this opportunity came up, it was just the right time for us to move this way. And he came to me and he's like, should I do it? And I was like, the worst that they can say is no. And he goes, what if I get an interview? If you get an interview, take the interview.
Right.
And it's not like you don't have a job already.
Correct. Well, and that's something that I try to instill in my students. Don't leave a job until you have another one.
Yeah.
Because that's a lot easier. So comes down to Greenville.
Yep. And he got offered the job. And at that point, when he was offered that job, he said, hey, are there any other jobs in the school district that my wife would be qualified to do? Because this is what she does now. Mm-hmm. And she has a strong background in performing arts and fine arts as well because of just basically being associated with my husband. But I do have a very strong background in instrumental music.
Sure.
From a very young age. So there was that as well. So they said that the production coordinator position was open and they also had a front of house position open as well. And so I actually applied for both of those positions and they offered both of them to me.
All right.
So I was doing 2 jobs and I kind of morphed them into one and made it work and
adapted.
And it worked. Yeah.
You adapt on a regular basis.
Exactly. I think you do in the performing arts.
So that's where you were prior to becoming the executive director.
Yes.
So, and as we just said, June of 2025 is when you started at the chamber. What is it, coming into a new position, I know is always tough.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm sure you knew of the chamber.
Yes.
You probably had some interactions with the chamber, but you hadn't been behind that chair yet.
Correct.
What are some of the things that you saw coming in that you went, yeah, this is going to be cool?
I knew Paul Sisko. He was the former, or I know him.
Yeah.
He's still around.
Yeah.
He's the former executive director. And I know actually he and his wife. And I've been down there several times to have to interact with him because they help out the school. They help us promote our live performances. And working directly with the theater, I would often either email him. Sometimes I would stop by there with our posters so he could hang them up or get them to where they needed to go. We have a community board that we post different events for our members and for the community, really. You can bring us stuff and we'll put it up there. And that way everybody can be in the know about what's going on in Greenville. So I got to know him through that, but I also had followed their Facebook page, and so I saw that what they're doing at their business after hour events and their other events that they have around the area, around the county, and it did look really neat. And I like people, and this seems like a great step.
and you come from a management, being at Staples.
Yep.
And, being athletic, working in the schools, administrators. Yep. So that's just seemed like, oh, this is just another step in your path, in your journey. Yes. When you came in, you knew a lot about what was going on. And I know that there's some events that happen, like we have something in June, January, February, March, April, May, all the way through. You're kind of coming in mid-year. What has been your biggest challenge to this point?
My biggest challenge was my first week there. I started on June 2nd, and on that Friday of that week was the annual chamber golf outing. Oh. I wanted to be there, though, because I wanted to meet as many of our members as I could in one setting, and that seemed like the best time to do it, not knowing that it was going to be a bazillion degrees on Friday or or all of the other things. It was crazy. It was actually a great time to start because I have really, really strong people that I work with, and everything was ready to go. Our chamber board is amazing and very supportive. And there was a volunteer that was helping so much. It was great. Okay. It was great. And I value that, and I appreciate that. And I want them to know that I appreciate them.
Well, it takes a team.
Yes, it totally does.
It takes a team. I know in my class, eventually you're going to work together. You need to, don't just be an island. You got to go out and network with other people, yes. And you got to get through things. So you made it through the golf outing.
I did.
Bazillion degrees, and you're going, second week, now you've got a little bit more lay of the land, maybe.
100%. Oh my gosh, I had it down. Second week,
it's always funnier in my head. But what are, if you could, let's jump back now that you're at the chamber, and I kind of gave you, I felt like a teacher. I kind of gave you an assignment. You asked me what we wanted to talk about, and the one thing that I thought would be kind of nice, could you give us a basic, and I know that you may have to read your notes a little bit, which is fine, but the assignment was, give me some history on the chamber. How did the chamber start? It showed up. It started when you showed up. I understand.
Yes, there you go.
No, okay. So can you share?
I have a very short history of the chamber.
Could you share that with our listeners, please?
I can definitely do that. The Greenville Area Chamber of Commerce started, not incorporated, but started in March of 1924. And it was started from the Greenville Development Association. And we have, the officers were J.E. Wyckoff. Thank you. Yep. Because I'm not from over here, so I apologize for any mispronunciations of any names that I say from here on.
I got some friends down in Sheridan that are Wyckoffs. That's how I know.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
So, it started under his direction mostly, and it became official in 1947. And from then on out, it was all about the Greenville area. And I just want to add this little tidbit that I believe to still be true to this day, and that is that we are the only chamber in Montcalm County that actually has a full-time staff.
Yeah, I think that's true. Back in the early 90s, I was one of 11 that started the Panhandle Chamber over here.
Oh, yeah.
And, that went, and now that has now morphed into the Howard City Area Chamber of Commerce.
Perfect.
But it's one of those things that, we had a part-time.
Yeah.
Part-time,
yep.
Because it's smaller. You do what you can do. So I know a lot of people hear the word Chamber of Commerce. Mm-hmm. In your mind, can you describe what is a Chamber of Commerce?
Think about it from us. Well, I'll just give you the quick overview. So what we're doing is I'm bringing people to other people. We want to take those people to business, and then we make these businesses come together to build a community.
Right.
So that's like the very shortest, sweetest definition, is that I'm taking a single person and I'm networking. We're creating this big community of business and people, entrepreneurs,
and
everything.
And you're stronger together.
Yes, you're stronger in numbers
than you are individually.
Yes.
So I know the chamber has, different events, as you said, golf outings, they've got expos, they've got different events that happen throughout the year. They have networking opportunities.
Try to do those once a month with our business after hours.
Right.
Which is probably the easiest and quickest way to get your name out there. If you are a member of that chamber, I highly encourage it.
Yeah.
I mean, come to as many of those as you can.
Because you get to meet people.
It's so easy too. It's like such a chill setting. There's food, free food. Who doesn't love free food?
Well, whoever's hosting it, you get a chance to sometimes go into their business, see what they have to offer, and at the same token, get to meet other people from the area. And I know the Greenville Chamber, primarily of probably Montcalm County businesses, mainly probably Greenville is your biggest, but you reach out, and then you probably have some members that are not, maybe Kent County or Ionia. The whole idea is, if you're doing business in the county, this is a good place for you to join and be part of and network, because there's not fences around our communities or big moats. We don't have dragons. We don't have all of that. Yeah, I know. Let's bring back the dragons. We could get creative on that one. So what are some of the things, you're bringing business people together. What are some of the events that are happening at the chamber that are an annual type thing? Let's start in January and kind of the best of your ability. And we're not doing a test.
Me on the spot. I'm still working all this out for myself.
Yeah. You have a golf outing.
I'll give it a shot. Let's go.
Kind of give us an idea of what are some of the things that the chamber does throughout the year that are kind of like an annual thing.
So early in the year, they have an annual dinner. And at that annual dinner, they'll give out awards for members that are involved in the chamber, like through the previous year.
Sure.
So that's early in the year, and then it's followed by the business to business fusion, which was I believe this past year was, don't quote me on it, please. You can quote me, but
anyways, you're good.
Business to business, and so it was a chance for people to buy, our members to have booths and network in that way, that aspect, and give a little more in depth about what their business is about and what they do and what they're all for. And then it would take us into the chamber golf outing. And then next month in July, we have the Party on Lafayette, which is a car and bike show, and also a not pizza eating contest, but a pizza contest.
Yes.
We have several different area restaurants who are going to show up and
bragging rights.
Yes, for bragging rights, but also a wonderful trophy.
Yes, been there, and there's a lot of networking amongst the different pizza places.
Oh yeah.
It's they've all got a job, and they're all out there trying to go after that trophy.
That coveted pizza pan trophy.
So we're in July.
Yep.
What else?
Yep. So we're in July. So, and every month, I should put this in there. Every month we try to do a business after hours event at one of the different members' places. Next month it's going to be, in September, it's going to be at Bob's Acres. And we'll get all of that information out to our members soon. And then once we get into the fall, we've got, I'm sure I'm forgetting something. We've got our Christmas parade. We also have Rediscover Downtown, which goes on all summer. And that is open for any business downtown Greenville that wanted to attend. And that's really fun. And it's just an opportunity for those people to, they stay open a little later at night.
Sure.
But that's a way for everybody to come and meet them and see what they're all about as well. Because a lot of times you don't get to make it downtown before those businesses close, because they tend to close a little earlier.
Well, you're open when the majority of the people are available.
Correct.
And I understand. Don't you also do like a lunch and learn on occasions?
We do. They have COG meetings.
Okay.
So they are hosted. We have different members that will come in and speak on a topic. Like just recently, the YMCA came in and kind of gave an update about what's going on over there at the site where Club Fitness is.
Okay.
And so they gave a more accurate timeline on everything with Gloria and her husband and all of that, like with them stepping down and retiring and them and YMCA coming in and taking over.
All of these events that you're talking about, someone can follow you and easily connect with what's going on. And if something else just kind of pops up, it's going to be news right there.
It'll be on there.
Is Chelsea the one that's kind of taking?
Yes. Over? My awesome coworker Chelsea just got a promotion, and I just put that on the Facebook page as well.
I saw that today.
Thank you. Miles took that picture.
Yeah.
So Chelsea, we're so happy to have her. She's amazing, and she was just promoted to our community engagement and events coordinator for the chamber.
Okay.
So she is looking for volunteer opportunities to do, like, for maybe 1 to 2 hours during the day at different members' places or at their events to help them and then she'll just get our message out a little bit more.
Sure. Well, it's continual.
Yes.
It's consistent content marketing. You have to be consistent with things to keep things up to date, and you got to keep pushing things. Otherwise, people don't know.
Yes.
The worst thing a business can do is have a Facebook page that's a month old.
Yes.
Come on, you got stuff going on. You need to push it. Whatever social works best for your clientele.
Yep.
Whether that's an Instagram or whatever it might be. So, got a lot going on.
We do.
You've got your sleeves rolled up. You're jumping in. You're having a good time. I can tell. I can. I knew of you because I had Miles in my class this past year, but it was kind of neat to hear that you took that position.
Yeah.
And then let's jump back as I'm starting to wrap this up. Before I ask you the question that I normally ask everybody, is there anything that I haven't mentioned that you would like to touch on before we kind of close this out today?
Oh my gosh, I think we mentioned pretty much everything.
And maybe what we should do is every 6 months or so, maybe we get together and we do an update.
I could totally do that.
That way we can kind of keep things in the.
We can keep it fresh.
Yep. Thank you.
And maybe I'll know everything by then.
I think the best thing about it is that you adapt and you learn as you go. Coming from Shepherd, coming down into the Greenville area. In your opinion, why should someone discover Montcalm County?
It's beautiful. Our plan, when my husband and I were in our early marriage, when we were in our newlywed era, we had always planned. We love this side of the state, the west side of the state. We've always planned to come over here. We had no idea how many lakes were over here or how many hills and trees were over here. It's amazing. But you got to think of where we came from was all flat. We were in the Saginaw Valley. Okay. So it was completely flat.
And it's amazing. It's only it's just to the north.
I know.
But that's
how it rolls. Get it?
It is. It is. And there's different places around this whole state. My wife and I are in July, we're going to take off and we're going to explore the sunrise side of the state. Oh. We're just going to get on Old 23, go. I mean,
okay.
I don't have a clue. I mean, I know of the towns, but I don't know what's there. But we are going to go explore.
That's nice.
And we're going to spend some time just, because the nice thing about Michigan, the way Michigan is laid out is you can have a lot of staycations. I mean, we don't have moats around our counties, as I said. we can venture out into a 2, 3, 4 hour trip, and there's a lot to do.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's our mission. We're
Yeah.
going to, go and then we'll end up in St. Ignace. We kind of like Mackinac area. And then if I can convince her, we're going to come down through the Tunnel of Trees into Petoskey and kind of bring there's a couple wineries there that
A fair few.
the car knows where to go. All I got to do is let go, and it'll pull us right in there.
Mine too. I don't know what that is all about.
I don't have a clue, but Jennifer, thank you so much for coming in today.
No problem.
And sharing all you know right now. And I can't wait to maybe connect with you at the end of the year, first part of next year, and we can take a look at what's going on.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's all about networking with business and industry and consumers and people, and there's a lot of attractions. We could go on and on and on.
Oh, yeah.
So thank you so much for stopping by today. I'm Dwayne, your host and producer of the Discover Montcalm podcast. Again, you can find us on Pandora, Apple, iHeart. You can grab the RSS feed by going to discovermontcalmpodcast.com, and you can catch well over 140 episodes of what we've been doing. Every week we drop a new one out there, and it's amazing that I haven't even touched the surface of what's available in this county. And we just are also getting ready to unleash our Chatting Local segment, which will occasionally venture outside of our county lines and look at businesses and places that we can go and we can network with. So that way we can expand our network, and I'm looking forward to that. And, we don't know where it's going to go. But on that note, remember to buy and shop locally.
We would like to thank M1063, WGLM, FM, M1063.com. West Michigan Technology and Design Solutions is your local source for managed IT, websites design and hosting. Check them out at WMTDS.com. At Business Growth Engine, Stephen and his team support businesses through automation and streamlined processes. Go to BuilderGrowthEngine.com. DW Video transfers your home movies, slides, audio, and videotapes to digital. They produce and design websites, create business and social media videos, TV commercials, and family storytelling videos. Visit dwvideo.com to learn more. Connect and follow the Discover Montcalm podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Check out all our episodes at discovermontcalmpodcast.com. We look forward to featuring your business, community, nonprofit, events, and more. Contact Dwayne at 231-250-9624, 231-250-9624. Thank you for tuning in and following the Discover Montcalm podcast.